Rugby World Cup 2023, the draw is out and the bookies are already taking bets on how they think each team lines up in terms of being a favourite or being an underdog. I have had a look at some bookmakers' odds, which I will state it up front. It's just bookmakers' odds. You can look at the bookmakers' odds to be the implied probability of the success of your bet. Ultimately, the bookies are there to just make money. So keep that in mind. Bookies, surprise, surprise, they want to make money from you. But yeah, I've taken the bookmakers' odds for the 2023 World Cup. They're taking money on all the teams I got on the board, including these four who haven't yet qualified. I've converted those odds into percentages and adjusted for the overs that the bookmakers put on all the bets to kind of keep things in their favor. So in theory, if I've done the maths correctly, when I put all these percentages for each team together, the total should be 100. So that's kind of nice and easy to see, like 60% chance, 20% chance, 10% chance, 5% chance, that kind of thing, according to the bookies' odds. They are New Zealand bookmakers, so maybe slanted in favor of New Zealand, but I think for the most part, all the bookies' odds are kind of a much of a muchness. But anyway, I'll go through the teams. I'll put their percentage on the board, and you guys can let me know if you think that's fair or if that's maybe leaning a bit too generous or maybe a bit too harsh. Right, I will start with 6 teams who are on this number. It is 0.2%. It's these four to start with. USA, Georgia, Samoa, and Tonga haven't even qualified yet. They are paying $501 to win the Rugby World Cup. So if you bet $1, you will get your dollar back if you're successful, and 500 of the bookies' dollars. So pretty long shot. Likewise, Italy is at 501, also 0.2%. Now, when I did the rounding, Fiji is also at 0.2%, but technically they're at 301. It's just when I did all the adjustments, it was virtually no difference. It's kind of rounded to be the same number. If you let these numbers go to 10 decimal places, Fiji's number will be slightly bigger than these ones, but rounded, that is what it is. So actually, Fiji is a slight more favorite than these other four. But in terms of the percentage, it's worked out to be the same on paper. So yeah, Fiji's at 301. The other five are at 501. As I said, these guys haven't qualified, and they've got the All Blacks and the hosts in their pool. So it's looking pretty tough. Interestingly, next is Japan. Japan is at 0.4%. Now, a fair few people, including myself, maybe incorrectly have been saying, England have got a pretty sweet pool. They've got Argentina, who they've usually got the wood on, and they've got Japan. Only Japan. They should storm through this one. And as some people have rightly pointed out, you can ask the 2015 Springboks or the 2019 Irish and Scottish teams whether only Japan is a correct statement. Now, they're not going to be the hosts in 2023, so you got to take it back a little bit. But maybe some of us are playing into the Japanese hands by already kind of writing them off and saying, Argentina have got a good chance and England's got it pretty easy. I don't know, but the bookies have got them at 201, which is 0.4%. So not very highly rated. The team that they knocked out of that pool, which is at Scotland, the first team to get a whole percent. Scotland come through with a 1% chance of winning, so they're paying $81 to win the Rugby World Cup. I know a fair few Scottish fans have been pretty distraught at the look of their pool. They do have Ireland and the Springboks in there, which on paper anyway seems like a tough ask. But hey man, you got three years to prepare, so a lot could happen in that time. Argentina are the next off the list. They, maybe on the back of beating the All Blacks, they get a whopping 2.4%. I wish I had looked up what the odds were prior to the World Cup draw being made. I can't help but wonder if their odds got a little bit boosted by that pool. They're paying $34, 2.4% for Argentina in Pool D. Next, it's the first Band 1 team, and that is Wales with 4.4%. Band 1, and still below a fair few of the Band 2 teams. 4.4%, they're paying $19. I'm still torn because some people are saying, I'm saying, Wayne Pivac's got time to get this right, but other people are saying Wayne Pivac's on a 2-year contract and may not get more than 2 years if things don't turn around pretty bloody soon, which is a fair point. Some of you guys who are more au fait with the Welsh game are saying it took him quite a long time to get the Scarlets guys embedded. Whether he needs to have a clean out of some of the old hands who've played the old Welsh careers under Warren Gatland and bring in his own guys, that will be a question. Next, it's Ireland with 5.5%. Now, I initially thought Ireland's draw was pretty good because they got Scotland. The Springboks are going to be a test, but they haven't played them for a while. And they do have, at least in 2020, a pretty good record over Scotland. But as some people have pointed out, mostly Irish fans, a quarter-final exit at the moment is looking potentially like another reoccurrence with either the All Blacks or France being the most likely teams they meet in a potential quarter-final. I don't know, man. I think if you're going to win the World Cup, you got to back yourself to go. Basically, you can drop one at the pools, but then from then on, you just got to beat all comers. So whether it's the All Blacks, the Springboks, the Welsh, the English, the Wallabies, whoever it is, man, you got to get it done. So we'll see what Andy Farrell can do with that side and see if they're looking a bit more confident come 2023. Still a long time to go. Next, speaking of the Wallabies, they are here on 9.2%. That's a pretty big jump. That makes it $9. The Irish were at 15. So $9 for the Wallabies. That may be a little bit higher over here in New Zealand compared to some other bookies because obviously New Zealanders being more familiar with the Wallabies and the Wallabies having beaten the New Zealanders in recent times, we may be more likely to chuck a few bucks on the Wallabies. But again, kind of like Wales under Pivac and maybe Ireland under Andy Farrell, it's still a bit of a work in progress. And after 1 year, it's probably too early to judge. 9.2%, maybe partially in that pool, but it's giving them certainly a lot bigger chance than Wales, according to the bookies, in terms of their percentage anyway. Next, it's the reigning champion South Africans on 12.7%. And I think Springbok fans will be laughing all the way to the bank, man. Like, yep, keep saying England, France, and the All Blacks are the bigger favourites than us. Just keep on doing that. They will quite happily sit there and be ready to laugh in all our faces because I'm pretty sure in 2019 South Africa were quite far down the pecking order in terms of being favourites as well. I don't remember what they were. I don't think they were first or second in terms of being favourites. But look what happened. So yeah, I think they will not mind that a jot, but they haven't played for a while as well, so it's kind of hard to know where they're at. Next, and this one's maybe a little bit surprising, but it's England on 16.5%. So they are paying $5. The South Africans are paying $6.50. 16.5%. Now, usually England come in pretty high when you're looking at any bookmaker's odds. And if you're looking at what the bookmakers put out there, their numbers are influenced by the number of people gambling on those countries. So if more people are putting money on England, then this number is going to kind of go higher. And there's a lot more people in England that live in, say, New Zealand or Australia. So, you know what I mean? There's likely a few more punters in England, although we are looking at New Zealand bookmakers odds here. So, but yeah, 16.5% has them as the third favourite. France are the second favourite on 18.3%, being the hosts and being on a pretty good run since Galtier took over. A bunch of young guys coming through, and apparently their B team is not too shabby either. It's kind of not surprising. The French are pretty highly rated. And then lastly, it's a New Zealand bookmaker, but I think most bookmakers have got these guys as favourites. The All Blacks are on 28.6%. Now, some All Blacks fans will be saying, hell yeah, man, we were the number one team in the world for a bloody long time. We won back-to-back World Cups. Our teams look pretty good. We should be the favourites. And other All Blacks fans will be saying, damn, if we've still got Ian Foster in charge, it's not likely. But maybe if you give us Scott Robertson, then that number is a fair reflection. But anyway, these are the odds as we sit here at the end of 2020, looking at a tournament which is going to be played in 2023. Maybe in a year's time I'll do another one of these videos and we can compare to see how the odds have changed. Has Wayne Pivac been able to turn things around? Has Dave Rennie's kind of influx of youngsters managed to bear a bit of fruit? Will Japan have the depth to kind of keep going at that level they were at? How's Ian Foster going to go with the All Blacks? Man, there's a lot of questions which still need to be answered. I'm not sure if by that time how many of these teams will have qualified. I know there's going to be some teams qualifying earlier than others. So, yeah, it will be an interesting one to watch. But just keep in mind, these are just bookies' odds, and it's just the implied probability based on the kind of money that they are paying. But anyway, what do you guys reckon? All Blacks fair favourites, or do you think they're a bit overvalued here? If you were going to put a few bucks on someone, who do you think is a decent bet? Do you think Wales can be a bit of a dark horse if Pivac turn things around? Do you think Japan is a potential banana skin for the likes of England in that pool stage? Scotland, 1%, with seemingly the talent of a generation, having re-signed their coach through till the World Cup. Anyway, you guys let me know your thoughts, and yeah, I'll talk to you guys again soon. See you later.